Hello?
Hey CJ, how you doing?
Yo, I don't know what my Skype's issue was, but I guess we got it to work now.
Yep, all you had to do was call me. So, we are into game tonight. The 10 p.m. game we have on the red team and Pride's team on the left. Now the bans have already been concluded, so we will go through those shortly. With precision, we have a Yasuo, Wukong, and Lucian for Pride's team, and a Fiora, Amumu Ban, and LeBlanc for Ghain Esports team.
I like the Jin first pick, so they already secure their ADC, but now all they have left is a support. But red team can easily counter the Jin with like a Sivir is usually good or Ezreal. So as you can see, they just picked Ezreal right here. Maybe they'll lock it in, and then they have Kennen, which is huge engage champion, especially with all of her stuns. I believe it's a girl. I'm pretty sure. But Kennen top is one of the strongest champs right now. But they switch that back and go Graves. So Graves jungle is still good. The Kennen gets locked. Team goes straight to the Sejuani insta locks. Sedge is also good with CC and engage, especially when you go full tank. She can focus most of it. I like the Nami with the Jin too because of how Nami can give Jin empowered basics and the heals, and the tidal wave is a huge game changer. So
Yeah, so if we go back to the previous broadcasts, we have big AoE junglers. That was a key for a lot of the games that has passed. Now we are waiting for the two picks for Ghain Esports second rotation. It might be a Blitzcrank jungle. Now he is amazing if you play it right and catch the squishies off guard, because he can pull the enemy, into your team. But as I say that, once again, it is not locked in for sure, so we don't know if they're going to pick this for real, but it seems like we have a Braum hover.
Braum hover, because again, with Kennen and Braum, you have two, and he locks it in, so that's a definite Braum pick for bot lane. They still don't have their ADC yet, but the Braum engage is very strong with the combo of Kennen.
Alright, Mr. Herbert hovering over the Syndra, he locks it in. He's going to have fun with that champion. I would have liked to see Ghain Esports pick their marksman before the Ahri, so she would have a chance to counterpick the mid lane. Because Syndra, she is a bully. She likes to throw balls at you, but even though it sounds sexual, it deals a lot of damage. So that will be dangerous. We have the Gnar. He's going top lane. He is going to fight this Kennen. It's going to be a ranged matchup top lane. And it's going to be fun to see because Gnar, his goal is to deal as much damage as he can in his mini form and CC and finish off the Kennen and or the junk at the end when he turns Mega. Now Kennen, he has an interesting scenario because his passive lets him stun the enemy after 4 landed abilities. Now this includes an empowered auto attack after 4 or 5 or so auto attacks. So that will definitely be an interest top lane because that will be a pure skill matchup and it's going to be fun. We are rolling at the 10-second mark for Ghain Esports to pick their marksman. Who is it going to be? Let's find out.
To continue with the top lane, it comes down, they pick Vayne, which I like because Vayne's very not picked as much, but if you can snowball, the snowball that she can produce is very crazy. But with the top lane, the Gnar against Kennen is gonna just come down to purely outplaying and which one is mechanically better, because most top laners now is a tank, AP tank, but she still does damage. But her main purpose is to set up team fights at mid to late game, where she stuns, gets 4-man stuns, and then Vayne Ahri can capitalize on that. But I appreciate the Vayne pick because of how she's not frequently played because of the fact of how hard she is early game. The skill required to get kills and farm even is pretty high, where Jin is just four shots, so it's pretty easy to like control that, where Vayne doesn't do as much damage, but she can if you know how to use her 3-hit passive. to get the full damage.
Yep, that is right. We can't get enough of top lane, so we're going to visit that lane one last time, or more, if CJ wants to continue. But as CJ mentioned, what what needs to be in the top lane? We need to see individual skill, but presence, because these two little packages, they come in big sizes when it comes to team fights. They are able to completely swing a team fight in their favor when it comes to big team fights. So the Gnar will be looking for the Vayne and the Ahri. Unfortunately, it is not his most favorite target simply because of the amount of mobility these two have. Ahri could dash away 3 times, dodge like 2 of his abilities, and then Gnar will be stuck just landing auto attacks on her, which isn't the most pleasant thing because Ahri will have a lot of magic damage, but mostly the Vayne because she will have AD. Gnar might focus on getting MR to face this Kennen mostly top lane. So we will see about that. The mid lane, like I mentioned, it's all about balls. Whoever lands the most balls onto the opponent will deal the most damage and end up having the jungler help them clean up the kill mid lane.
The mid matchup is going to be one of the key determinants of which team wins the game, based on, because I believe it was yesterday's tournament games. There was an Ahri who I believe was against Vigar, and the one-on-one matchup in that game, Ahri demolished. But now we see it against a Syndra, who's also a high carry champ. So it's like they're both super high carry, where Vigar, it takes him a little bit to get going, where you have to land the full combo, where Syndra, again, it's just gonna be like a snowball fight between the mid lanes.
Yep, we've seen it on stream. I think it was Mr. Herbert that played the Syndra last game too, so if he gets a lot of ability power and if he gets a lot of magic penetration, these squishies, including the Kennen, which will be a force to reckon with until he has his Zanyas, which will make him an even bigger force to reckon with. Lots of damage in like a short amount of time. If she lands a stun, catches a squishy by surprise, she is able to simply annihilate one or many of them. Now the Graves jungle, it is not something I've seen too often in these games. It does not have the AoE, Stunlock, CC, Bonanza that we've been seeing for the past few games now. But it carries a lot of damage. His jungle clear is awesome because the melee jungle camps, they can't reach him because the shotgun pushes them away. So it is easy clears for Graves to get through the early game. Although he does not have CC, hard CC, he is still a force to reckon with in the jungle.
He, like you said, he's not an Elise with the cocoon or Olaf with the slows, but the way that Graves is usually built most of the time, especially if you get ahead and start snowballing. So the 2 shots that he has still do a lot of damage with the crit build, but you can always reset the 2 shots with his E, which is the dash, and then that resets 1 reload into his kit. So I think in the 1v1 against, if Sejuani and Graves were to fight, I believe Graves would win early game. So there might be an invade, there might not, but I think the whole game will rotate around whether or not Graves can become a force to reckon with and gank either the top lane carries or mid lane.
Yep, and if the spectators here have seen the previous game, the blue side, Felicity, they were able to get first blood when they spotted the Zed walking downriver. So will Pride's team be able? We don't know because it is not common for people to steal other. Okay, that's a complete lie. People steal ideas all the time, but that is what plagiarism is. But we will see. It seems like blue side will be going towards the top side to invade that, as they're all running up towards that, so they might catch out a Kennen by surprise if he does not show up in the tri-brush in time.
I think, yes, they are going for that red buff invade on red side, but Graves right now is AFK, so there will be set up before Graves is even in his jungle. There he is. Okay. We've got movement. It's not a remake. We're good.
We're good. My dreams won't get shattered, and then we are good to go. The previous game, we've actually seen a Rift Herald take, so I am really, really happy about that.
Nar and Lee Sin, I believe.
Yeah, so they were able to take the Rift Herald, no problem.
A lot of players don't understand the huge advantage that early game Rift Herald can give you, especially. So most junglers will give it to their top lane or mid lane for having that solo lane advantage. So you won't be able to duel Syndra or Gnar if they have that buff. So I don't know. I think if Gnar or Kennen can get ahead, I think they'll turn their focus on Rift Herald.
Yep. Now we see some early action mid lane, although all we're going to get is Qs flying from each side. We're just going to go back to the Rift Herald for a second. Just a reminder, you get 4 or 5% damage reduction while facing an opponent as the damage incoming. And after a little bit, his next auto attack will be empowered, so he will deal even more damage. Now that is very, very useful when the jungler is... not the jungler. The laner who has the buff is always auto-attacking, but it seems like this mid lane matchup seems to be having all the action right now. Syndra is landing ball after ball on the ground, hitting the Ahri. Unfortunately, nope, she gets... it's pretty even though...
And stun, she has Ignite up. Come down to which one can hit the basic.
Whew.
And Ahri gets the kill. That was pure pots of biscuits being eaten between both of them. And I think Ahri just ended up having the stronger basic attack damage, and that's what ended up getting her the kill. So good job on Ahri's part.
Very good job. They both end up burning Flash and Ignite to try to juke each other's ability. And it worked out really well because she may have missed Syndra balls onto the Ahri. Hey, before we make any more sexual innuendos, let's actually learn what the abilities' names are. For Syndra is Dark Sphere, and for Ahri, it's Orb of Deception. I may or may not remember these. That's a guarantee. So let's check out the top lane where the battle of the mini people are. So we have
Yordles versus Yordles.
A null Yordle matchup right here on Saturday. Let's see. Gnar
Graves is looking for a gank. He's pinging to go in. Kennen pops. E goes in. Gnar jumps.
Constant damage is going off. Unfortunately, Graves can't reach the backline because his shotgun only allows him to auto-attack what is in front of him. So yeah, a simple leap away from Gnar, and it keeps him safe from the Graves gank top lane. And it is what it is, because Graves, like I mentioned earlier, he hard CC like most junglers we've seen this tournament, like the Zac, like the Elise Cocoon, and all those fun abilities. So Graves will have to make an impact later against a target who is more caught out and who is probably lower health than Gnar was top lane.
Now I think that this mid lane, Graves is looking for the gank, but it's going to be spotted by that pink ward. So good part on Syndra warding that top, and she just warded Raptors, so she has full vision on top left side of where Graves is at, so she won't be getting ganked. But I think she has to respect this Ahri, and if she doesn't, she'll make a mistake where she goes too aggressive, and then that Graves will come out of nowhere and help get her the kill. And after like 1 or 2 more kills, Ahri will start snowballing.
Now we saw bot lane. Now this Ahri just getting landed on Dark Sphere low. Fortunately for her, Mr. Her Pride Esports, the Pride team, she doesn't have too much mana. So once she backs, I'm hoping she gets a Lost Chapter and a blue buff maybe, because that will solve
Graves is ganking bot lane.
problem.
Smoke screen goes out. He's got red buff. Braum passive is on and he flashes out. Ghain condemns Nami, so that's very good on blue side, on blue team's part, because if that Graves got that kill, or even if that Vayne got that kill, that would have been a huge gold lead for that lane. And once, like I said, both Vayne has the capability to snowball probably as one of the best champs in the game, especially when you don't know how to play against her.
Yes, and for those who don't know how to play against her, the easiest thing to counter her in this patch, in this season, is dropping a pink ward when she ults. because that will allow her to turn invisible, reposition for the condemn, to condemn you against the wall, and you'll just have a bad day. Now landing abilities after auto attacks to get Gnar low, and he is forced to back.
Now this back is going to put Gnar behind because he doesn't have teleport since he got harassed early game by that Graves gank and had a TP back in the lane. So he'll miss about a wave of XP, and that will put Kennen ahead. Sejuani looks for the gank mid right now, but I think Ahri is playing very safe. But there is no ward in that topside bush.
Graves finds the ward. Unfortunately, he's going to get caught out by everything, and that is an easy kill for Mr. Herbert. Good job. You've caught the Graves out as he was walking in a bush where there was a pink ward. He had no idea that both of them were there. Maybe Ahri did, but I don't know if she knew that Syndra walked into the top river brush there.
From players, especially low silver, don't appreciate how valuable vision is, and just in that instance, that pink ward right there left no vision at all. And they get ganked. Here comes Sejuani, misses the ulti. Ahri pops ulti, goes back in just Thunderlords. Kennen TP bot lane. That's 3 shots on the Nami, but Kennen does get the kill. Gnar has to push in his lane. He doesn't have TP to match, which what I said earlier, that's the Kennen TP. And now they go on Infernal Drag.
Yes, as you were casting mid lane, the camera was on bot lane, so I'll quickly explain what happened there. There was a ward right here behind where Pride team was. So Kennen was able to get the easy teleport bot lane, get the AoE, I think it's called Slicing Maelstrom, his ultimate. He was able to stun up the Jhin and the Navi, and that was it for the bot lane. Esports are up 2 kills on Pride team. The gold is about even, but they are up 1 dragon compared to the other team. Now Vision, we have a nice little triangle of pink wards in the bot lane. So
Ahri pinged to go gank top lane, but Syndra's right behind. Gnar hits slow on her. She chimes, not much can do. Stunned by Syndra. Ulti by Syndra, that's a kill.
Damage, I keep reminding everyone during the early game. Now will Gnar flash?
Going mega. Are they diving? No, they can't. Okay. That was a good chime by Ahri to kind of tell them, hey, you better watch yourself or else I'll get a double kill.
I like you so much that I do not want you to hurt me. It's basically what she's saying, throwing out those charms to everyone. So Graves is clearing out the bot lane as their bot lane goes back to get their buy. Braum gets a target as the Vayne. She's going for attack speed, and that's pretty normal for Vaynes at this point. It seems like she is getting a static shiv, which will help immensely with the wave clear. Also to keep those W procs on the enemy going, and the more of those you hit, just like a lot of abilities in this game, the more damage it does, and that is what Vayne is looking for right now.
This Gnar is... Okay, there's the MR. I was about to say, he went for Steric Gauge, but there was no MR in that, and I thought he would go Mild Marcordius before, just to get that MR against Kennen. But still, even just that one cloak, I don't think... It might be enough, but Kennen's finished Headstringer, so that's Spell Vamp. And she's going to go probably powerful.
Gnar, the red buff from the Graves. Here comes an engaged mid lane. Sejuani lands the ult onto Ahri. Syndra follows up with an ult of her own, but it is not enough to kill the Ahri. She made it out of there alive, and we have action all over the place. It seems
Syndra's coming bot lane. Let's see if she can set up anything.
Now she doesn't have an ulti. She can't catch him out that way, but
they come to war.
Lands...
Jhin curtain call down. 1 shot. Ignite's already on her. That's a kill. Tidal wave's coming up. The 4th shot hits. The bubble is deadly. Flash forward by Jhin, trying to kill Secure, not KS it, but Syndra ends up getting the kill anyway.
Yep, good on Syndra. I don't know why both the Vayne and the Braum were walking upriver when it was clear that Syndra was missing. They did not have vision of that river brush, and they just get caught out by the combo. The Jhin Kern call to finish the job, but It just helped him slow as Syndra got the double kill. Now, Sejuani is slowing the Graves. She is pushing him away. And just like that, Mr. Herbert forces the flash of Graves. So that'll be useful when it comes to catching him out. Although he does have quick draw, which lets him dash away, but it's good to know that his flash is down.
On this tower, but bot lane already got first blood tower, so that's extra gold, just like first blood is extra gold. So that first blood tower is very valuable, and she comes back in time to save it, so they won't match the towers.
The boar is angry mid lane. She is looking for an Ahri. Unfortunately, there is a flash from Sejuani, but Sir Herbert following up if he landed, but mistakes were made and Ahri was not able to kill Syndra and gets shot down by the turret with the help of Syndra.
Now, this Syndra is going back on a large chunk of change because she's 5-1 and only has 2 of the steps of building. So now she has full Moral Nomicon and Largest Needle.
Graves is top lane. The Kennen, although he was perfectly able, from the looks of it, was able to take care of the Gnar himself. Now this might be the first tier 1 tower for Ghain Esports, although the tower is still pretty healthy and there's a Sejuani coming to help prevent that of happening. She lands ulti. She's going in alone. Turns out she doesn't need a team. It's just mowing down her opponent. If this was ARAM, she would have been able to mark the Graves and go right on him to finish the deal. But this is not ARAM. Good job on Sejuani on that part. And it seems like there was an ultimate mid lane. Nope, that was not an ultimate mid lane. That was just pure DPS from the Syndra forcing Ahri to go away.
Now they're pinging Drag because they know how valuable Infernal Drag is. I believe this will be the second for GE Sports. I'm not positive, but there is a red pink, so they know that they're starting it, and the next fight's going to be around Drag.
Yep, this will be in fact their first one. So if they're able to do it, it is still a nice damage boost for them. The APs and ADs get 8% damage, an 8% damage boost. Sejuani takes it easy. Ahri's going in there.
Gnar, that's on 2 title
picks on the dragon by Pride team, and Syndra's looking for a steal. That was a 3-4-0, so that is going to boost their confidence as they are looking to siege down the mid lane.
Now this Syndra is starting to get out of hand. She's 6-1 right now, and if she backs, she can get another full item, and the snowball is going to start happening really soon. Ahri dashes out. That's nothing. They focus on Graves now.
Alright, that is the final tier 1 tower going down for taken down from Pride team. As I said before, Vayne, she needs to be, I didn't say this before, but Vayne needs to be a bigger impact. She needs to be dealing a lot more damage. If Braum can land the Winter's Bite onto Gnar, but she wasn't able to. Syndra tries to retaliate with a stun, but she misses it. And that would have been a lot of free damage onto the Vayne, and that wouldn't have been a good...
Like I said at the beginning with Vayne, is how mechanically skilled you need to be at the champ, where it takes a little bit for Vayne to get ahead, but if she can get ahead, the snowball power is ridiculous.
Now, the only issue with Vayne in this game is that literally everyone on the enemy team, everyone on Pride team has some form of CC. Lower her confidence, lower her health, and into the slaughterhouse with the Vayne. Literally, because Jhin has a snare and traps, Nami has the bubble and the tidal wave, Sejuani has a dash and an ulti. Gnar, when he's in mega form, he has the Gnar, and he has his little rectangle stun that he has there. Also Syndra. If Vayne is spotted near Syndra, you can say your goodbyes right away, because one stun and one ultimate or unleashed power, one unleashed power from Syndra will take her out easily.
Now, what most Gnars get, even though he has a passive slow, what most Gnars will do is get the Frostbound Hammer, which is a perma-slow on every basic attack, and since he's ranged, it's even harder for you to get away, especially when he's kiting you in Gnar form. And the item gives... So when he's in Mega Gnar form, he's able to be more of a frontline tank and just jump in, stun anyone against any structure, like a wall or a tower, and then Syndra will follow up, and then their entire team will collapse on Gnar. So Gnar is the main initiator on blue side.
Yeah, they really need to look out for the Gnar. But when he finishes his Frozen Mallet, he will be able to mention the Frozen Mallet gives more slow power. It's a higher slow for when he's in melee form. So even though they survive the 2 stuns from the Mega Gnar, they are going to have a very, very tough time getting away from him when he's Mega Gnar after that. But it seems like Syndra's almost getting caught out. Fortunately, she was able to use Scatter of the Weak as she pushes the Braum away. He's getting caught out. He's gone.
Glacier pressure. Vayne flashes forward. Syndra Nox gets a 3 stun. Tidal Wave hits no one. Maelstrom's popped, but the Graves is left all by himself. Jhin hits a nasty stun, or root, and that's an ace.
Great job on Pride team to make that all happen. It seemed like at first Mr. Herbert was caught out, but he was able to
completely other side of the map, invading. So
finish off the Braum, and then the Sigil. She was able to land a 3 or 4-man ultimate to stun them all up. It was followed up by the Nami tidal wave, and then Jhin and Syndra was able to clean up from there. 5 members of the team are up now for Ghain Esports, as Pride team are going to attempt to get the tower, but it is all foiled because Ghain Esports, they were there, they were able to clear the minions, and that will be the end of that confrontation. Maybe. We'll see.
Now Gnar has finished the mallet, so that gives 700 health, more than I thought initially. I thought it was only 500. Sejuani's caught out, but jumps away. She gets healed from Jhin, so 1 summoner down.
Yep, fortunately she gets away. Unfortunately, Jhin thought he needed to use the heal to get the Sejuani out of there, but it is better than having your teammate die and being like, bro, why'd you let me die? And it's like, it was a waste, but hey, you're alive, that's all that matters. That is correct.
Now, Gnar got the Rift Herald. He has the buff on him, so even now with Rift Herald and Mallet, and then he has Hedge Drinker, so there's the magic resist for the Ahri and Kennen, and which gives him a shield after he drops to a certain health. So Gnar, scary team fighter right now.
Pride team is looking at the dragon. It has just spawned. They have Sejuani in the area. This is a mountain drake, so it'll be an easy pick for them. There is no contest in the area. The closest contest would be Braum, but he doesn't have smite. He doesn't have the capabilities of smiting it from dragon's high health for the smite execute, and that is a free dragon, mountain drake, for Pride's team.
Completely other side of the map, invading, so trade, but in the end I think Mountain is way more valuable than Gromp and Wolves. But Curtain Call comes out, they land a stun on the Braum, he's instantly deleted, especially from the Syndra.
Yep, he was caught out alone. We have a bunch of abilities there. Gnar's auto attacks with his Frozen Mallet, this Syndra stun from over the wall, and that Braum was dead without a problem. Pride's team, they're looking for the Baron.
Baron, the red side has no wards on or around. They have 1 pink in the top side bush, but that's not enough to see that they're on Baron. And we have Syndra waiting in the bush, piling spheres and waiting for them to come out because she wasn't even needed to take the Baron. Everyone else is so far ahead.
Yep, once again, easy take for Baron. Syndra the blue buff to Mr. Herbert. This is all game this game. She is 9-1-5. She is up 30 CS on this Ahri approximately. She has the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, the Morello Nomicon. She is now looking for an Abyssal Scepter, which will really, really help her out for deleting even the tankier of squishies. Which, if we take a look at all the items right here, it does not seem like they are building any MR aside from Braum, but That's the only person that really needs it. No, that's a lie. That is a complete another lie. He is the designated Aegis person. So sure, he'll give an aura of like 10 or 15 to everyone, but even that, I don't think that's going to be enough unless people from Ghain Esports, I'm not going to say smarten up, but they need to survive a Syndra engage.
They need to figure out what is priority. There's a 1v1 in top side, but Gnar is putting work. In the end, it's not enough, and Gnar hits the stun, which was very accurate. There comes the ulti by Sejuani. Glacier, everything's happening. Maelstrom's pop, Zhonya's out, Curtain Call's down. That's going to take out Kennen. Sejuani was just eating all the damage. TP coming in, very late, but still wants to be there for any aftermath fighting.
Yep, fortunately Braum gets away from the fourth shot from the Curtain Call from Beastlayer, the Jhin, by
That's going to be it to end off this. 3 players are down, the red side, and it's just Braum. So in the end, it's just Vayne, but this Vayne is far behind. She only has 1 completed item.
Yep,
2 if you count boots.
And as long as she doesn't get caught by the Scatter of the Weak from the stun combo from Mr. Herbert, the Syndra, this should be okay. Ari, she flashes in.
They ignite on Jhin. Jin's taken out right away. Mega Gnar came in.
All right, just like
Kennen's
that.
trying to fight, but this Mr. Herbert.
He is
then
legendary.
He finishes out Braum. Then that's going to be, you can see the GGs in chat. That is going to be game. Blue side winning with the carry 12-1, Mr. Herbert. Probably MVP in my opinion.
Yes, same thing in my books. It is 23-8 at the end for Pride's team. Congratulations, good job, and it was a great game. Just put it out that way. Syndra had an awesome game. Gnar had, it seemed to be, a pretty good game, 5-2-6. Sejuani, she was able to land the ults when it mattered. Congratulations. Now, one last reminder that this Algonquin College Esports first encounter, these teams are fighting for a spot